What's up, guys? So I received the new line from my AC to fix it. It's a discharge hose, part number 23438932 from GM. AC Delco part is 1534670. It's a discharge hose from the compressor, and well, to access it, you gotta remove the air box. It's held by 4 8mm bolts, and then you gotta loosen this one up so you can remove this part, push it back, and then you're able to squeeze this top part out and lay it on top of the engine, and then remove, I guess you can remove the rest of the stuff, because it's only the hose is only held by 2 bolts, one down there and then the other one is like towards the bottom of the box. So if you remove it, it leaves you a lot more room to access that. So I'm gonna do that right now. Alright guys, so after you remove the air filter box, you're gonna need to remove this one cable right here, and it has a little clip on the right side right here. You pull this clip out towards the front of the vehicle, and then you pull the cable out, it comes out. Now next thing is the 2 screws holding the hose together, which is that one right there, and then this one right here, that one right there, and then the hose should be able to come out. If you do have a bracket between the discharge hose, the low pressure and the high pressure, it goes there, so you need to remove that as well. It goes right between here and there, so you need to remove that. I had installed mine, so I just already had it removed, and it's I think it's a 10mm bolt on that one, and then the other for the hose is 1/2 inch. It could be a 12mm, but I don't think I have a 12mm, so I'm gonna do a 1/2 inch, which I think is correct. I know the 1/2 inch is correct. I'm not sure if the 12mm is correct, so I'm gonna undo those real quick and then I'll be right back. Here it is, guys, the old hose. You guys can still see the UV dye on the line from where it's leaking from, which is right here, this little curved part. That's where it has some really small puncture holes, and that's where it's leaking from. So that's a whole hose. I got the new gasket that I put on there, which I'm gonna remove. So there you guys have it. Now let's put it back together, vacuum it, and hopefully it's holding pressure, and then we can add the refrigerant. One thing I didn't mention is the hose. It's exactly the same, but it's just slightly different configuration on the plastic side. As you guys can see, my original hose, the one in my hand, that doesn't have this little plastic cover rigid part on this little aluminum piece they crimped. But other than that, it's identical hose. Well, the other part's twisted because it's twisted to the way it is, but you guys can see from over here is exact same thing. So I'm gonna install this right now. Alright, so I put the new hose in and connected the wire. Now I'm gonna put my bracket that goes in between that line and that line right there. So I'm gonna do that now. So bracket's back in place. Now I'm gonna hook up the AC manifold and check for leaks. Alright guys, so I got my manifold hooked up, high and the low, and I got it hooked up to my vacuum. So now I'm gonna open up those valves over there, turn on the vacuum, open up this ones. Here we're gonna hear the vacuum suck out the air from the system, and then we're gonna let it run for a couple minutes. So let me open those up on the engine, and then I'll be right back. So the engine ones are open. I'm gonna turn this thing on. And then I'm gonna open this one. I heard the vacuum kicked in. Open up this one. You can see it going down. So we're gonna let it run, and it's gonna get down to 30 inches of mercury of vacuum, and we're gonna let it sit there for like 20 minutes. Come back, close up all the lines, and then after we close those lines, we'll leave it for like an hour or so. And if the gauge moved, then that means there's a leak, and if it didn't move, that means the hose we changed was good, and we could add the refrigerant. So right now it's at 30 mercury. We're gonna leave it there for 20 minutes or so, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, it's been about 20 minutes, so I'm gonna close this one, and I'm gonna turn out the vacuum, and then I'm gonna leave it in vacuum. So it's gonna be, the system's gonna be under vacuum, and I'm gonna leave it for about an hour or so, and hopefully this should remain at the 30. So it's almost at, it's right under the 30. I say it's at 30. So I'm gonna leave it there for an hour or so, and the system is under vacuum, so under pressure. There's nothing in the line, so if it holds that pressure, then that means there's no leaks, and we can go ahead and add the refrigerant. So I'm gonna let that be. I'll be back in an hour. Alright guys, so my gauge stayed at 30 inches of mercury, so it didn't leak out, so that means changing the hose fixed the problem. So I turned off and closed the gauges. Now I'm gonna put my air filter back in place so I can add the freon back into the truck. So let me do that real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I put my box together again, and now I'm gonna add the refrigerant. So first things first, we're gonna need 0.60 kilograms of refrigerant, which is 21.16 ounces, and this Autozone cans are 12 ounces. So we're gonna throw in a full can, which is 12 ounces. So we're gonna subtract the 12 from the 21.16, and then I'm gonna throw this first, and then I'm gonna put this one on the scale with the hose attached to give me the correct reading of the weight, and then we're gonna subtract that from the amount that we need. So at the end of the day, the scale is gonna read the amount that we need to have on the can left over, so we don't add too much refrigerant to the truck, because then we could have issues. So I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna close the red line, which is the high pressure side. I'm gonna close it over there, and I'm gonna close it on the manifold, and I'm gonna leave the low pressure side over there open, and I'm gonna leave it closed here, and it's also gonna be closed on this little tap. So need to turn on the truck. Well, first let me go close that line over there. Alright guys, so what you want to do, turn on your truck, put the AC to the cold side all the way, turn your fan on, turn it all the way high, and start adding the refrigerant. So I'm going to tap this one. It's going to puncture a hole in the can, but it's still going to be closed because the pin's in there. So until I pull the knob all the way back, it's going to release the refrigerant. But before I do that, I'm going to purge the line so there's no moisture or air in the line. So before I even open this one, because it's closed, I'm going to open this up, purge the line. So give me a second. Alright guys, so make sure you open this up. Open the blue one up over there, open it up on the can. Well, no, don't open up here, just open up the can and let the refrigerant flow through the line, and then you're gonna purge it. You're gonna stick a screwdriver or something in there until freon comes out. Then you're gonna open up that line should be open. You're gonna open up this and start adding your refrigerant, and you're gonna see it in there flowing in there. And you can add a little bit of UV dye, just so so in case any future leaks, you know that you're gonna know where the leak's coming from. So I'm gonna add the refrigerant. I'm adding 1 can now, and then after this one's done, I'm gonna close the lines, and then I'm gonna measure out that can, so I know that I add the right amount of freon to the truck. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I'm putting the other can. It measures 18.7 ounces with the hose. So what I need is 9.16 ounces more of refrigerant. So since this measures, it weighs 18.7 minus the 9.16 is like 9.56. So once this goes down to 9.56, that means I added the 9.16 ounces of the refrigerant that I still need in the truck. So I had closed the valve, the low pressure side, when I put the new can on there. So I'm gonna open up the tap now and then open up the line. So give me a second. Alright guys, so I tapped the line, I opened this up, and then I opened it up over there, and now I'm gonna wait until it reaches down to 9.56. so I'm gonna pick it up, shake it a little bit, and then put it back down on the scale until it reaches 9.56. I'm gonna keep doing this until it reaches that, and that should be pretty much it. So there you guys have it. That's how you fix the leak on the 2014 Silverado. You guys let me know if you would rather pay $450 plus at the dealership or fix it yourself. So until next time.